Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us for Workforce Wednesdays. My name is Yvonne Beals, and I'm the Chief Education Officer for the Center for Urban Excellence. This evening, we have yet another dynamic presenter that's going to share with you some of the professional experience that might be an opportunity for workforce and employment exploration for you all. This evening, we have Simeon Gant. He is the founder and executive director of the Green Tech Education and Employment Program out of Sacramento. He's a proud father, grandfather, son, nephew, uncle, cousin. Professionally, he's been a public servant and a social entrepreneur with an emphasis in government relations and public affairs, serving in the California State Assembly and Assembly and Senate since 1993. In 2008, he founded a nonprofit corporation titled the Green Tech Education and Employment uh, Academy, a community-based nonprofit organization teaching young people 16 to 21 about careers and opportunities in clean energy, energy efficiency, and sustainable living strategies. Since creating this groundbreaking organization, Mr. Gant has mentored hundreds of youth, guiding them through high school, into college, and meaningful careers. Leading Green Tech, he's introduced marginalized communities, youth, and families to career opportunities that emphasize reducing greenhouse gas emissions, increasing overall health outcomes through improvement of the environment. He led a humanitarian mission to teach local students how to build portable solar lighting systems, and then sent the solar light systems to Haiti, Cameroon, and Africa for dental and basic medical procedures. More recently, Mr. Gant and his Green Tech team built zero emission parking lots in Del Paso Heights and marginalized community in Sacramento. The Green Zero Tech Emissions Mobility Hub is a 13,000 square foot lot with 6 electric vehicle charging stations and an electrical bench for charging cell phones and laptops. It is my pleasure to introduce to you my D9 brother and proud member of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, Mr. Simeon Gant. Thank you so much, Mr. Gant. We are privileged to have you, and we look forward to your presentation this evening.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me and allowing me to speak to the young folks here and everyone on on this Zoom call today. Every time I hear my bio, I get kind of, it trips me out because I have done so many things, but but I've been encouraged to do so many things, and there's so many things that are not on that bio that I have done. And oftentimes you're supposed to speak to your audience, and so I will go back a little bit further and just let people here know that I actually am originally from Fairfield, California. I grew up with a lot of family in Vallejo, California, and I started back. I left Fairfield to go to Sac State to learn my craft, which essentially was writing. I was just good at English, and I became a writer. And the reason why I bring that up is because my first jobs were kind of helping my friends, and my friends at the time were a music producer by the name of Mike Mosley, who made music for Tupac Shakur. He made music for E40, a rapper in Sacramento named Sibo. And my job at the time was to be Mike's publicist and to get all the information out. And so I spent a lot of time hanging out in the studio doing music, really. But one of the things that I learned early was that all these titles, they were important at the time, because there was when we talk now about engineers, and I'm going to talk a little bit later about a quote unquote engineer. What we were talking about were music engineers. But the reality is those were jobs, and those were good paying jobs. I was a publicist. We had music engineers. It was more than just rapper. It was more than just producer. But the point is, when you think about careers and jobs, you got to really think broadly, and and you got to work at your craft. I did go to college to work on my craft, and outside of being Mike Mosley's publicist and working with the press, I was actually a news producer in Sacramento at Channel 10, and I was a news producer in Reno at Channel 4, an NBC affiliate. But then I moved on from there to work in the state capitol to do television in the state capitol, and that's when I learned a lot about how to become a politician. And so I, again, working on my craft, writing letters, writing talking points, writing uh, writing law. Basically, we were writing legislation. That was my career path. And one of the things that happened while at the legislature working in the Capitol, they passed a law called the Environmental Solutions Act. And the Environmental Solutions Act basically said that we have to change the way we're going to develop our infrastructure. Infrastructure is a big word for everything, all the buildings that we build, all the roads, all of the signs, everything that you all see when you go out here, and is considered the infrastructure. And what I recognized was that us as a people, we have a hard time understanding where everything is going. And I wanted to set out to start a program to teach our people where everything was going and what all of that meant. And so I started working with a group called the Alpha Academy. Shout out to the D9, Yvonne, right on, good looking out. The Alpha Academy is a fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, working with young Black men and teaching them about uh, life skills. And one of the things that I brought to the table was this Environmental Solutions Act and a nonprofit that I started called Green Tech. And the goal was to teach our young people about the new principles of an old workforce. The old workforce being specific um, industries like construction, manufacturing, transportation, utilities, and overall environmental management. And so I just wanted to talk to our young people about the new principles of all these issue areas, and basically how our government is saying that we have to go green, how we have to help our environment, improve our personal health through helping our environment. And so that meant that these jobs, these engineering jobs, and these career opportunities out here in utilities, which were solar and wind and water, how do we create energy? All of these were new opportunities that, frankly, our folks were kind of left behind in the dark on which direction we were going to move. And so we started having workshops on how to build websites. We had workshops on something called Arduino, which was an introduction to programming. It's an introduction to robotics. And so our goal there was to bring our young people. I mean, we recognize that we like to uh, work on our laptops or work on our cell phones, our mobile phones. But how do you actually build a mobile phone? How do you become a builder? Go from a user to a builder? Because why? Building is where the money's at. Using is where you're spending money. So there's a lot of opportunities out there. We had a big project called the Solar Suitcase Project, where we taught our young people how to build a solar lighting system, a portable lighting system. And so we introduced our students to how you can become an electrician. And if you don't know, electricians make a whole lot of money. And you don't really need a degree. You don't have to go to college to become an electrician. You should go to, there are classes to become an electrician. And you should do well in math. But at the end of the day, becoming an electrician can lead to so many different things. And so we taught the young people how to build the solar lighting system. And when they built the solar lighting system, they sent the solar lighting system to Haiti, where they needed the light. It's unreliable, the lighting systems there. So, sometimes it sounds a little high end, but I'll say that it's really fun. It's a good learning opportunity, and we had a lot of young people learning how to do that type of work. We also have a big farm out here in Sacramento, and the garden. We bring the young people out and we teach them work ethic. And while we're teaching them what we call work ethic, basically the simple things, foundation of working, like showing up on time, working hard, showing pride in your work, and we pay them stipends. We give money to learn how to work. We have resume workshops, and we have financial literacy workshops. And I do have a video here that I could show you all about our garden. And I'm going to pull this up 1 second here.
So this is our aquaponics system. Basically, the plants take the nutrients that the fish provide and they use it to grow, and the plant distributes oxygen into the water to help the fish live.
For most high schoolers, Saturday mornings are for sleeping in, but not for this group.
I wanted to be out here today because I wanted to learn something new, get a little bit of training in. This is my first job I ever had.
You're going to grab it from the
They're taking part in Green Tech Education and Employment, a local nonprofit that prepares inner-city teens for careers in emerging sustainable fields. On Saturdays, they work in the urban garden. The lesson here?
Learning doesn't just come within the classroom, but you can learn from practical experience, kind of getting out and working with your hands. And so that's the kind of experience we're giving them.
What is this?
Today is orientation for a new group of students who are part of the mayor's 1,000-strong youth workforce initiative, a program to prepare kids for careers and college.
I want to be a game warden for fishing game. That's what I want to do.
The flower.
17-year-old Romani Hill is one of the veteran students with Green Tech. He's learned about solar energy, renewable technology, even construction.
Not too many things come your way like this, There's not an opportunity where you can come out here, you learn and put in work and still get paid for it.
Oh, these are small ones, though.
Green Tech started because founder Simeon Gant saw a need for skilled workers in emerging green industries. At the same time, he saw a lack of job opportunities for teens. What he may not have seen was just how eager these teens would be to take part and how much this garden would help them grow.
I'm going to be 18 in a month. I want to be able to go out into the world with experience, recommendations, and just get started.
Smell what a fresh carrot smells like.
In Oak Park, Kristen Samos, KCRA 3 News. Green.
Okay. Let me stop this here.
It's over 40 gallons of sap to make just one jug of real maple syrup. That's why one of these bottles can cost $10. And grocery stores are flooded with imitation syrups that don't have any maple sap at all.
In fact, including wasabi, vanilla.
All right. So that was one of our videos. Let me get this off of here. The guy Romani that you saw on there, that news story was many years ago, actually. So Romani now is working for an energy company. And he wouldn't mind me telling you that Romani was one of the young men who was he had trouble with the justice system, and he came to us to get off of probation, and he had to do something, and he came to a program where he could trust people, and we were one of the few organizations where he could trust, and he knew that we would support him in the best way we could. And he came to me one day and told me that Green Tech saved his life. And we do these type of programs. It's sometimes it doesn't always seem fun, but what it is experience. And what you'll find out is that it takes experience to get into some of these better career opportunities. And we like to instill in our students that while it can be a job, it's more than just a job. It's an actual career. You have an opportunity to raise your family, get a living wage, but it takes time. It takes time and effort. And so we help build a resume. And oftentimes when you are going for a job, they do look at your record. They do look at your experience. And we tell our young people, if you have a criminal justice record, it's not the end. You can be an entrepreneur. You can start your own job. But it takes working and being a part of programs like these to understand what it really takes to be an entrepreneur. We also have financial literacy and that sort of thing. I know I just jumped in, and Yvonne, you have to tell me if we can be interactive here, or if the format is all listen. Is there a...
Absolutely. Feel free to interact, ask questions. It's free flowing. We have about 10 more minutes, so you can sort of engage with the participants if you wish. Yeah, but they can unmute themselves.
Okay.
If they have any questions.
All right. So yeah, I'm talking a lot, but I guess I have a question. Is what type of careers are you all interested in? Does anyone want to become an engineer or a scientist or an electrician? Music, in the music industry? Anybody want to chime in?
You can either unmute yourself or put it in the chat about what
Screenwriter.
a screenwriter,
I love that.
what you might be interested in.
Screenwriting is amazing work. So when I was at Sac State, I did quite a bit of screenwriting, and again, it's thinking early about what your skill set is and honing that skill set and practice. So screenwriting, is just getting a command of the English language, and they often tell you say that you want to be a screenwriter, but you'll never be a screenwriter until you write a screenplay, right? And so you can't be nervous or you have to jump all the way in, and you have to practice your craft. You have to research it. How did other screenwriters get started? Do what you have to do. But I can't emphasize enough on practicing. Practice. Anybody else?
Can you others please respond on what career paths you are exploring or currently working in? You can put it in the chat, or you can unmute yourself.
I'll give you time to think about it here. I'm going to show another video here. Let's see.
Certainly with the passage of Prop 39 and millions of dollars of resources to ensure that our schools are energy efficient, audits are a key piece of knowing what the schools need in the first place. But it's also a great opportunity to create a new industry and to train young people so that they are educated, and when the time is right, they are ready to take high-wage jobs as energy auditors. It's the combination of the work that needs to get done, but also the workforce development.
Green Tech Education is a community-based nonprofit, and we teach youth and young adults ages 12 to 19 in career opportunities in clean energy, energy efficiency, and sustainable living strategies.
I teach the Green Tech students about energy efficiency and how to perform an energy audit. So this includes, going through a school building and looking at ways to reduce energy use. So we started with the basics of energy, including electricity and heat, and then applied that knowledge to the technologies that we find in schools, like lighting, HVAC, plug loads, kitchen equipment, and domestic hot water.
Green Tech is a program where we learn about energy efficiency and how to improve the world and improve the health of the world and just make it a better place for the future. Energy auditing, I learned a lot of stuff that I didn't know that I can apply to my actual house. A lot of easy fixes that I didn't know that I was wasting just so much money. So it was definitely a benefit.
Well, look, energy auditing is
you dropped my face.
Something that we practice and do and maximize today. I think moving into the future, it's going to become extremely relevant. Greenhouse gas emissions, climate change, we hear about it, read about it every day. You see our entire society, our entire economy moving to much more energy efficient lifestyles. And I think having a nonprofit like Green Tech educating our young people to be the ambassadors of energy efficiency into the future is absolutely paramount to ensuring that we continue to do everything we can to be energy efficient.
Okay, I see we have about 1 minute, so I'm gonna address a couple things real quick. I see that someone in the chat said they want to be a makeup artist, and it's a great career. It kind of goes along with the screenwriting because in the film industry, we need makeup artists, and they make great money. Again, I just can't overemphasize practice. It takes a lot of practice, but also, you gotta get a foundation for all of these careers, and that foundation is school. Even in the world of becoming a makeup artist, there's training for that, and so the more you get training in the foundation, no pun intended, because you use foundation, makeup artists, all that good stuff. The more you do that, the better you can get. And then connecting with people, going to when they have conferences on these issues, go to those conferences. Find the scholarship money to go to those conferences, because oftentimes it's not just what you know, but it's who you know. So do you think they will find a use for AI in environmental tech? I absolutely I know so. Absolutely. So one of the things that, again, that we do is teach not only 3D printing, but how to program. So artificial intelligence is going to be a major factor in how do we find ways to reduce greenhouse gases, and how do we reduce pollution? How do we improve our health? Artificial intelligence is going to touch every aspect of our life, and so I think it's important for us to learn how to do computer programming, how to develop our skills in computer science, so that AI isn't doing it to us, so that we are doing it to AIs, and to the point where we're actually doing the programming. That is one of the I think that's one of the most important employment careers out there today. And then also someone mentioned healthcare billing and coding. Healthcare will always be a strong industry. It'll always be at the top career opportunity out there, because as humans we get sick, and it'll go on forever. But environmental scientists are trying to find ways to make us less sick. So I think it all goes hand in hand. So, those are great questions. I love that engagement. And if you guys have any questions, or you're more curious about me or Green Tech, my email is simgant. That's SIMGANT @gmail.com, and I'll write it in the chat.
We're also going to be sending this information out to all of the participants present and who missed it, today's presentation, and they'll be completing a survey. And if they're interested, they can also follow up with you on learning more about your program and any participation opportunities. And with what you're saying, it resonates, because we really are at a critical turning point with green technology. So much is moving in that direction. I think California is going to be moving towards electric vehicles in the next 10 to 15 years. And the AI, like, it's going to replace a lot of human functionality in so many ways. And even with the writing, there's an AI now that I just learned that students are using to write essays. You just say, hey, I want an essay on Black Panther Party, and it generates it. Yeah. So, you know, the skills that we rely on for human capacity is soon to be replaced. So we have to, as people of color and Black people, really need to look outside of that and be part of this movement, because we're going to be left behind if we're looking at traditional occupations in such a way that we're no longer essential. So I thank you for today and giving us some insight on the trends that are coming, the amazing work that you're doing up in the Sacramento area, which is the stepchild to the Bay Area. But you know, some people in Sac want to claim the Bay Area, but we appreciate all the work that you're doing. We know your roots are here from the Bay, so thank you for shouting that out. And if anyone has any extra questions or at all for Simeon at this time. 7:07. Okay. Okay. Well, we will have an opportunity to do an evaluation. If you want to get in touch with Mr. Gant, you certainly can through that venue. But Mr. Gant, thank you so much for your time. We know you had a busy schedule today, but we appreciate you greatly. And we appreciate you for being part of our Q Workforce Wednesday. So have a great evening. If you have any parting words.
No, just again, practice, practice, practice. Keep pushing. Don't quit. And, you know, always consider being an entrepreneur. Take care.
Good words. Okay.
All right.
All right. Good night.
Bye-bye.